their Tribe social update. Wanted to thank you for your patience. We were expecting to get this out maybe a week or two ago, but it's just taken a little bit longer to test it. And I was also traveling, so I didn't want to be releasing to production while we were on the road. So appreciate your patience there. We do have over 15 different changes for this version 0.20 that's releasing here on April 14th, 2022. And so on this video, I'm going to walk you through all of those changes and show you what this is going to look like for your platform. So these are going to be live. If you're watching this video, it means this update is released and your platforms have been updated. So let me share my screen and we'll jump right into it. So if you head over to tribesocial.io and we head over to updates, and here's version 0.20. We're going to go kind of top to bottom on all these features and just kind of run through them. So we have a new creator profile. I demoed this in our Facebook page a couple weeks back, but I want to go ahead and show that to you now. So we have leaving this in beta. So if you do want to use it, you just create a link up here to /creators. Like this, creators. And then on this page, it will actually list out all the creators that are currently on this site. So these are any content creators or any admins are going to be here. And it does require a photo. So if the user does not have a photo, they will not show up on this list. It's just something that we added just to make sure that this always looks complete and finished. So if I head over to this guy, you'll see that we kind of have like a profile page here where I can actually, as Bruce, I can edit my profile. You know, I can change my password, update my avatar. I can upload a cover photo, and I can even put a little description there. And then we have, you know, some followers, and you can see who I'm following on this site. So this allows you to actually follow specific creators and start to build kind of a custom feed for people you want to follow. And if you are the user and you're looking at your own profile, you can scroll down and actually just write something just like you would in a group. You can actually just write something here, upload a photo, an image, and publish it, and it will just show up in the feed. And this will go to other places in the site, but it's a quick way to just share an update, right? Currently, there's no there's a couple limitations with this existing version. So let me run through those real quick. One, you don't really have control yet over who all is on this list and also what order people are showing up in. So that's something we probably added at a later date because you probably have people you want kind of front of the list, and you want maybe there's guests and other people that you're using on your platform. You want them maybe further down the list. So we'll have a way for you to reorder them at some point. The other thing that isn't quite there yet, and this is why it's in beta, is there's not really anything that happens when you follow someone. So if I go over to Hannah here, I can actually follow her. There's a little bio here. And it doesn't really do anything just yet. At some point, we think what will happen is you'll go over to the homepage, and there'll be sort of a feed of all the people you're following on this homepage. So we'll be adding that at some point, but this is definitely a step kind of in the direction of being a little bit more of a social platform. And so I wanted to go ahead and release it, and you guys can definitely use it. I just wanted to tell you what the limitations are with that. So that's the new creator profile page. The other thing you may have noticed is we now have this sidebar on every single page. So when you land on the home page, it's going to show up right there. And then as you click into it, even if you go to a piece of content, then you'll notice that sidebar is everywhere. And so this is just really helpful because it kind of keeps that consistent reference point for your users. Whereas before we were jumping to like a full screen of just content on the homepage, and then you would jump into a group, and then the sidebar would pop in. So now you can kind of jump into a group, jump back to home, jump over to the list of groups. It's just a little bit faster to do all of this in just having that sidebar. So that's one new feature. We also released a new password reset functionality. This has been a much anticipated feature. So if I log out here and jump back to the home page, try to sign in, There's a little forgot password functionality here, so you can put your email address in here, and you'll actually get an email, an automated email with a link, and you can actually reset your password, which is really helpful. Most platforms build this on day one. This is just something, we built a lot of other cool stuff, and eventually just, we just have to inevitably have to do it. So it's been added in there. And so let's jump over to this password reset. There's a new flat file functionality for larger sites. This is really only affecting a handful of our users, so I won't go into detail here, but there's some really cool things we were doing with the database to make it super fast, even if you have hundreds of thousands of users. So just know that you can scale this really big, especially for mobile apps and things like that. So, okay, now we're into the improvements. Let me jump back into my account. I'll have to sign back in real quick. If I go over to the dashboard and I go to content, you'll see that we've always had these little dotted lines here. And so if you've ever tried to grab a file and just dragged it into that, you'll notice that it doesn't actually do anything there. So now you can actually grab an image and drop it into that box, and it will start to upload that image for you. So just a little bit of a nicer user experience. If you've got files on your computer and you just want to quickly grab something and drag it in there, it will just immediately upload for you. So small little change, but definitely a nice to have. In the groups, we've kind of redesigned a little bit of our groups here. If you go to roadmap, I'll use this as an example, and go to content. Previously, all of the collections were just listed out and they were open. So if you had like 15 items in a collection, you would just see 15 rows of content, and then the next collection would show up. So it was a little overwhelming, and this gives you a little bit of a higher overview of the whole. Like this happens to be a 12-week program. So if I click on this, it actually opens up all the content that's associated with that collection, and of course I can click into each of these as needed, but it lets you just click open, close. So just a nice little functionality, a little bit of animation there. So just makes it just look a little prettier for new people and a little bit easier to navigate. We have removed the descriptions. This is a small change, but worth noting. So when you're down here, you now just have title, the author, and the date is going to be there, but there's not going to be descriptions. It was too much to show here, especially on mobile. I think we were already hiding them on mobile, but now I've just hidden them all. It just looks a little cleaner, in my opinion. And then we've got basic and premium labels. So if you remember, and I'll kind of open up the old version of the app here and actually sign out so you can kind of see how this looked. If I refresh this, if we're just browsing content here, you'll see things like this where it says basic with a lock. And that little flag would stay on the content whether you were signed in, whether you had a basic account, whether you had a premium account, whether you're an admin. You just always see this little lock. And that was actually a little confusing for new users because it looked like they were locked out of it and they didn't have access to it. So now in the new version, you'll see that if I sign out here, let me go ahead and log out again and refresh. You will see, let me scroll down here, it says access with account. So that actually, and it's kind of grayed out like this. So it's really clear that if I click on this, it's going to ask me to sign in. I can't actually access it. And the same is going to happen if I'm a free user, but I'm not on a basic plan. It will say, hey, upgrade to premium or upgrade to basic to access. So it actually is a lot smarter now. So if I sign in here with a free account, or I'll even sign up Bruce Test free. I have a bunch of accounts in here, and we'll just add this in here. So if I look at this now, it says access with a basic account. So it switched from, hey, you just need to be signed in because we don't even know what type of account you have. So it says access with account. Now we know we need a basic account. And if I clicked on this, it would ask me to upgrade, and then I could jump over to upgrade. And then I would, we created a page here where people could choose their plan here. So that's how we are managing that from one to the other. And technically, the user could go upgrade. We go to ClickFunnels. We use our magic links to come back into the site. So this user would get upgraded and then be able to view their content without talking to an admin. So that is very cool. And so getting into fixes, there was a case, I'm not going to show you this in detail, but where if you had a link that you're just linking out, people could actually click on that even if they weren't premium users. And so people were able to access things they shouldn't have been able to access, fix that. We also had, if you selected video as your content type, but you actually didn't upload a video or add any embedded content, that content will just be hidden from the homepage. We just had some places where users had uploaded content but had not uploaded their video or created a piece of content. It's just one of those little things. We never want a user to click on a piece of content from the homepage and be taken to, an error message. That's not great. There's a place where the content page would crash. That's been fixed. And then we had some duplicate time zones that some clients were seeing where you would have kind of a just when you're choosing your platform time zone, there was more than one to choose from, and this just allows it, simplifies that and removes any of those duplicates. So all in all, a pretty cool update. We have more coming soon. I'll go ahead and tell you the next update is going to be related to the magic link for groups. So if you have a group and you want someone to go through a checkout process, maybe on a funnel somewhere or through your shop, your store, you can then have a magic link that when they complete that transaction, you show them that link and say, hey, create your account or get access now. They click on that. They arrive back on your site, and then they're automatically upgraded. Or if they don't have an account, it'll encourage them to create an account and then also automatically update them. So then they will be given access. They'll become an approved member of the group automatically. And that's just going to really help for admin. I know a lot of people are using groups, and we're using this for our own coaching programs as well. But people are using groups to help separate and divide content even further than just free basic premium. So it's a great tool for that. And so that's what people, that's the kind of the new way it'll work. It's one of those features that from the beginning of Tribe, we've always tried to create the functionality that is in a private Facebook group. And now this is one step kind of beyond that. So you can't do this in a private Facebook group. Approving users and all of that, if you've managed a private Facebook group, it can be a pain to manage who has access and making sure the right people get approved and did this person pay, so all of that gets solved, and this just automates that. So that's what's coming probably in next week. And we've got a bunch of other cool things planning, including live streaming directly into Tribe, into a decentralized streaming network. So I'll just put that out as a teaser. If you guys have any questions, drop us a comment below. You can find us on our Facebook group as well. And you can always email us at help@tribesocial.io. Guys, it's always a pleasure to serve you guys and to be building this platform. And we appreciate all your support. And if you guys have any suggestions, we're always open to hear them. So until next time.